Hello, hello. Let's do this thing. This is something I started about a year ago. Let me know if you guys are seeing any technical problems or anything. So, I have this part right here. And it's like a radio channel changing sample from Splice. And it just sort of has this melody that I kind of looped in here. And it's very strange, and I've kind of filtered it down and put some multi-band compression on it and stuff to bring it out as much as I can. So I'm also trying to figure out a way to like double the melody, and that's maybe a different way. Kind of trying to make this part like I really only want to hear this, but it's been a real challenge to try and EQ this down or anything, so I'm not doing that. I'm trying to I'm trying to double it with a different synth. That part kind of sounds like it should lead maybe like this part into like an outro. Let's see. Yeah, okay, so came up with these chords this morning. But we kind of need more before this. Like, this is a really cool outro, but let's see. Let's go see what we can do with, like, just this section before. Maybe add some interest. Alright, so let's see. We kind of just need to insert a completely different section here. So we've got, let's see, this is an 8-bar section, I think. Let's see, is that 8 bars? In case you guys are curious, so if you highlight something here in Ableton, then it will tell you down here like what you've highlighted. So I can see that that's the length is 8 and 16.5 seconds. That's just a useful tip. Yeah. What do we got here? I guess maybe we just sort of like, maybe we just duplicate this section for now and then start adding variation within it. Let's see. So also duplicate time is something I always use. So like if you go up here and like you have a section of thing, you can right click up in here and click duplicate time, and it'll duplicate everything in the timeline. You just got to be really careful that you're doing that in a way that you don't like accidentally grab like a little extra section here, because you will mess your stuff up if you start duplicating in the wrong. Like you duplicate it and you didn't have a clean like 1 or 2 or 4 bars or whatever. So be aware of that. Okay, that was a mistake, but that was kind of cool. So speaking of duplicating errors, okay, so I guess I'm gonna have to do this and unduplicate. So this is like a pickup bar. So this, it should be, let's see, can we duplicate? If we duplicate 4 bars, then let's see, is that 8 bar? That's 8 bars. Let's duplicate that too. Let's just kind of lengthen things out. So there's that B section. Okay, so let's maybe, let's see here. So we've got 4 bars of that. So let's just do duplicate time 4 bars of that too. So, and then this, and then this again. So And then maybe in this line let's see. Alright, so in this one, we're going to just extend this out. So we're going to kill those. So we're going to color these differently too, just so I know that it's like sort of a different thing. And maybe just for now. Oops, nope, I'm extending the wrong note. And maybe, I don't know, let's not work on ending right now, but that's a cool thing. So let's see. All right, so I'm gonna call this doubled melody, and then I just don't even know if that's needed. If you guys have a suggestion, let me know. So we've got this sort of like inherent melody in this thing. We've got that, and then if we put this thing in, I don't know if that's just an issue of a sound or just an issue of like it doesn't actually need anything doubled there. It's hard to separate, if you look at the sort of EQ on this, it's hard to separate. Let's put the EQ at the end. See, there's just like all a bunch of stuff here. Even if I put these out, let's see, you probably need to go away. Sort of the melodic part of this is buried within this part, and you can see the little peaks going out, but it seems like it would kind of kill the vibe to like really spend a lot of time surgically EQing this just to try and bring that little bit of melody out, because like the noise is cool too. So that's why I've got this multi-band on it too. Just sort of like boost those mids and tame those really highs. Any better suggestions, let me know. All right, so I think I need to try, let's see, I need to put a sort of other melodic thing in here maybe. All right, so let's do, I think I was playing with Vital earlier, and we can put that in here. Alright, I already like that section, so let's just mess with some, let's see, we're gonna do this. So, let's try. Let's just try this thing, maybe. Alright, so this is like the second section of here, so maybe let's just try something here. Let's just try completely, utterly random things. I already like that. I think I like that. Yeah, that's cool. So let's double that. That kind of needs to have a call and response thing. So maybe, let's see, let's loop this and let's, nope, and loop and. Okay, so let's do invert. Alright, so how does that lead in? Mm-mm-mm. Let's see, maybe we swap those. I wonder if this was like... I wonder if this was doubled. Would that be cool? Or like, let's see, Command A, and then let's... sorry. Option... D to an F, so F to D, that's like a, let's see, minor third down, I guess. Let's see, we'll take these down again. Do this, and let's turn this preview off. So, that's cool. I like that doubled sound. Let's see. I work pretty randomly here. Right, so... maybe we try and add something sort of, I don't know, bassy. There's nothing really in the spectrum here that is low. So let's try and add a bass. Let's see. Maybe let's try Vital again, or maybe there might be a cool sound in this analog lab thing. This is just like V collection scaled down to be free as hell. And then let's see just like what bass things there are. That's kind of interesting. Well, I really like this bass sound. Let's see. Maybe I should just try drawing it in. I kind of have better luck than playing it in live sometimes. Alright, so let's see. We're going to do bass. A glidey bass. Gliding bass. Okay. So we've got a 4-bar loop here, and just let's see. Let's preview. That's kind of neat. So maybe I could make this one. So this can just be a very strange thing. Let me try and... That is so weird. I would never make something like this, but I think it fits. I like it. Maybe this should just like straight up repeat. So let's see. Wonder how this leads into that. Let's see. Maybe I just slide this up to here. This down a little bit. Yeah, so I know the chords are like D, let's see, D, G, F, and then E. So trying to make an interesting bass line. I might just go with all roots. That might be cool. What we can do is well, you know what, let's just record it in and see what happens here. Let's just loop this part. That's 4 bars. Let's loop that. So it's going to be here, and then we're going to go, let's just go. We'll go with that for now. So let's see. Let's maybe make it. That's not good. What's that? I think it's option play. All right, how does this all kind of flow together here? So we need some kind of weird thing here. Let's see. There's already like a water riser thing. We probably need more sort of Philly type things. So we need a fill of some kind here. So maybe let's just look in. These are my samples. Let's see.
3, 2, 1, go! 3,
So,
2, 1, go! 3, 2, 1.
maybe that'd be weird. Let's see. Let's do another sort of track right here. Oh, good question, Tom. All right, I don't really have a lot of experience with FL Studio. The only producery person I know that I like a lot that digs FL Studio is this guy named Ben Jordan. I don't know if you watch him, but I absolutely love Ableton, and I think there's a lot of options in FL Studio that can be very confusing. I mean, it's not really about like capable or anything like that, but it's kind of about like what makes you want to sit in front of the computer and write stuff and do this. And like I'm in heaven when I'm using Ableton, just because I don't know, it just screams creativity at all times to me. So yeah. I don't know if you have any other like really specific questions, I'm happy to talk about that. I'm all about that. This is what I like to do. I love to answer questions and stuff like that. Can you still get the same outcome with either or? Well, a short answer is yes, but long answer is you will make different things when you have different tools available to you. If that makes sense. So like for instance, right now, I mean, what I grab to like put in to make a fill in here, it just like depends on what I have, and it also depends on like how I can navigate it. Um, and everything in Ableton is like pretty much like, if I want to get to like putting a soft synth in here, I'm basically only like I've typed Control F and then I've typed uh, OP and then I click Enter, and like then I can click Enter and put that in the track and it's right there. Whereas like in some other things, there's not this like little browser thing available. Like I really like the way Ableton has sort of navigation. Um, but again, I haven't really specifically gone into FL Studio much. Got to get yourself some studio headphones, a DAW, and a little MIDI keyboard. Yeah, exactly. And I mean, you can also do a lot. Yeah. No, those are all good questions. So, yeah, so just like putting an effect on a sound, and yeah, you're not bothering me, man. You're this is like why I'm doing this on the internet versus like alone, because I want to chat with people and help people out. That's one of my things. Um, so like your question was like putting an effect on a sound. So let's just say, let me just start a new little thing here and I'll solo it. And like soloing means like I can only hear that track. So let's just say like I have like a little synth here, right? Um, so this is operator. So let's just say I make like a little clip right here. I could either play it or I can like draw it in, right? So I can just be like so let's just like loop this thing so you can hear it. Like I'm literally just drawing in notes here. And when I look on my track, like this is the actual instrument in Ableton. Like so I could click Shift Tab between going between like what I drew in this piano roll versus like when I click Shift Tab or sort of yeah, that goes between. That's like one of the first things that confused me a lot was that sort of distinction. Is that in every track, um, you have like this view of the actual instrument, like in this case is a synthesizer and like all the things you can tweak on it, and then in this case you have like your actual MIDI information, whether you've recorded it or drawn it in or whatever. That's what you have. But then like just to put an effect on it, it's as easy as like I've got this browser on it, audio effect, and let's just say I want to put all right, let's loop this thing so we can hear what it sounds like first. So just a little bloopy thing, right? And so let's say I want to put like, I don't know, like this is a, so that makes it sound like a little chiptune thing, right? So like that's an effect, and I could turn this effect on and off with like the device on and off button right here, or I could also use like the 0 key. So like you've got that. I mean, you've got an infinite amount of things to play with, and it takes like years and years and years before you understand things like fully, and then you never really understand it fully. But anyways, what like this is a delay, right? So you can hear that delayed sound. No, you don't add effects with Shift Tab. Like you like anything in this browser over here, like you're just dragging and dropping onto the track. In fact, like you'll know you're in the right place. It's like right here. It says drop audio effects here. So like anything you have within this column over here that's audio effects, like all of this can go on. Any of this stuff can go on, right? And these are only like the native Ableton thing. So like these are things that come with what I mean. I have the full suite version because I've been doing this for years. But you'll have a like just less stuff. But Shift Tab is what actually goes between the two views, right? So like, let me turn this effect off. But like, this is the view of the notes that are being played by this instrument, right? So like that's the clip view or like the MIDI clip view. Or if I was on a piece of like audio, so like this is an audio track, so I'm actually seeing audio instead of like an instrument being played. I'm seeing like a sample being played. So like for this, it's the same thing, Shift Tab, and like these are all this is the actual audio, right? like this is just a sample, a loop or whatever you want to put here, or something you recorded or whatever. That's the view of this, and then Shift Tab goes to the effects view, and you can see all the effects that are on that track. Maybe I hope that answers that question. So if I don't want to have an effect, I create a track and then put more samples in the new track. So let's see. Let's see here. So let's go back to the splice question in a minute. But I think I can get see each track you add effects. No, I already answered that. So if you don't want to have effects, then you create a new track and put more samples in the new track. Yes. So if you put a sample in a new track, like this is a blank track, right? And so I could put like, let's see, like here's a growling tiger or a grizzly bear like growling. So I've just put that in there, and let's see, I'm gonna solo this track, but so now we can hear it's that, but then I could put effects on it just by grabbing things from audio effects and putting it on there. Hopefully that answers that question. And then there's two different views in Ableton also. There's like this clip view also, which is actually what I use more than anything, but like when you're actually arranging a track out, like then you would just, you're usually in this view, because this is like what would play in an actual song, whereas everything over here is sort of looping. But let's not get into that. And yeah, I've heard of Serum. So I wouldn't worry about Serum right now. For you, if you're just starting out, like I would get to know I would get to know the instruments that come with whatever DAW you get a little bit first. Like for instance, if you get Ableton, then like there are just like worlds of things to explore within all these instruments. I mean, you can certainly make amazing professional sounding stuff in any genre with these tools, but it's about learning synthesis and learning sampling, are sort of the skills that are involved in that. And so you said something about Serum, but I there's a you can look this up, but like there's this plugin called Vital, that's like just like for the most part as powerful as Serum, and there's like a free version that you can just like give the guy $5 or $20 or whatever. There's and like I have the free version, and I tipped him some kind of money or whatever, but you can also get like pro versions of this. But this is like there's a world of learning in this whole thing too. Like this is a synth plugin that's a lot like Serum. So can I just select the sample and it will only do the stuff? I don't understand, I guess, your last question. I can just select the sample. It'll only do the stuff I tweak at the bottom to that one sample. Yeah, like if you're on, like if I'm on this grizzly bear track or whatever, so maybe you also just need to understand like tracks, like so like each track represents like something, like a distinct sound. Or so like I have let's see, so I mean in this track, and as in so in this, let's call it a song at this point, you know, I have one element in each one of these like tracks. This is my kick drum, this is my like risers and effects, this is like cymbals, and I can hear like what's on that one track alone just by like clicking this solo button. So like I can just click around and sort of like solo things. Like this is my clap, this is like some samples of a camera clicking. And this is the main sort of like radio kind of thing that's happening. Yeah, absolutely. I'm happy to answer questions. Like the main thing I actually like doing is teaching people. So, yeah, by all means. More tech house music. Yeah, right. Yeah, I'm kind of all over the place. I actually don't even really make that much hip hop stuff. I just like kind of decided the next couple of months I'm gonna focus on that because I did this thing called the Beats Accelerator process, and so I've got a bunch of like beats that I've done in 55 minutes. So like I don't know, like most of this was done in 55 minutes. Like this core idea was done. Um and then I'm just like sort of like trying to refine this and add stuff today and see what works and anything. And yeah, I am on Spotify. I've got Spotify, like I listen to music on Spotify, but I also have my music on Spotify. If you just look up Ben Cornelius, I usually make sort of like I don't know, sort of like IDM kind of stuff is like what I'm normally making, but feel free to check it out there. You could look at my other YouTube videos, and I think there's links in there. Or let's see, or if you go to Linktree, I'm on SoundCloud and all that kind of stuff. I'd be happy to post. I think it's if you go to, let's see, well, on Spotify it's just Ben Cornelius, so you can look that up. Do you have other musical background, Tom, or like have you played any instruments? And thank you. Yeah, thank you for the follow on Spotify. I appreciate that. There's actually something coming out should be up in the next couple of days. I just released something yesterday called Meditation. It's sort of a very chill somewhat ambient, but I hesitate to say ambient because it's got like a melody and stuff like that. But it's a very chill thing. DJ, yeah, cool. Yeah, there's all different ways. I don't there's all different ways of doing this, and like you can DJ in Ableton also. I don't know if you like have looked that up before, but like you can sort of have stuff. In fact, let's see. And you played drums a little bit, yeah, and playing drums even a little bit is super helpful because that helps you understand like what like how drums work. Like in fact, I'm let's see, let's take this out. We're going to take that out. I'm going to save this set, and then yeah, so like drums, right? So we can take, let's see. So like I don't know, house I don't know. So like playing drums, kind of like how it kind of works. Like if you want to make, I mean, on a drum set, like typically what most people would like start and play is like, something with like eighths or sixteenths on the um eighths or sixteenths on the hi-hat, and then like, kick and snare. Let's see here. So I mean there you've got or let's see, we can also very easily like make this like half as fast or whatever. But like having played drums, you kind of like understand this like what basic beats are drum wise, and that's like a really helpful thing to be able to start with. So it's like you'd probably do this, and then you'd probably do this for like 4 bars, and then at the beginning of every bar you'd probably like hit the crash symbol, you know, and you understand that like having played even a little bit of drums, you know. Okay, when starting a song, I mean that just like completely. So one thing you can do is just like take an artist you like and sort of like just analyze the song, like, and you don't have to like know anything about anything music theory or complicated or anything to like start to understand that part, right? So it's like you just say, oh, well, this is, you know, at this point, this is when the drums come in, or like it starts with a bass line, or it starts with this, or whatever. When I'm starting a song, it just like it completely and totally it just completely it completely depends on what it was. So like for me, I mean, let me give you an example. I mean, if you're enjoying this, then this is what we're going to talk about, man. I'm so happy to help. So so like typically how I would start a track would be I would just be playing with something. So let me just I'll give you an example. So like I don't know, some songs I might start with like a chord progression on keys, or some things I might just start with like a cool drum thing, or like for instance I have a whole folder here that's like nothing, this is just like all scraps. So like let's see, let's just like this says it's a hypnotic IDM slow jam, so let's see what the hell this is. And let's see. So I probably started, I don't know, on this. I probably started something on the modular synth. I guess this was like looping piano and stuff together. And then this was like something from my modular synth. That's one example. That's not a really like good one, but or I might just have sampled something and find that interesting. I really just mess around or something. Yeah, so Splice, I mean Splice is interesting. Splice is useful. I have Splice, like I can show you like what that looks like, I guess. Um I mean, you can use this however you want, but I only use it for like very functional things or just like for adding flavor. But like, I mean, it may be helpful for you even just like to practice, like by using full sort of loops. But basically, Splice is just, you know, a place where you can get endless amounts of samples. So like, um, so like I'm sure I got something, let's see. All right, so like there's a thing. So in Ableton, you know, I'm in this view now. So I could drag anything from Splice onto here. And so, I don't know, let's do this and then let's do some like crows. Right? So I've just got loops in here, right? And it's sort of like I can do things to this to like make it my own. And that's where like effects can come in. So I've already got something sort of interesting here. But Splice is just a tool among many. You don't need Splice. Because also, like, when you buy, I mean, I'm only going to talk about Ableton because it's what I know, but like there are, like, for instance, like, let's go in Ableton, there's these things called packs, so they can include like instruments, and they can include samples and stuff like that too. So like, let's say let's do, like, this is break selection. So like these are all like drum breaks and stuff like that. So this is all stuff that, like, 95% of the stuff in here is all stuff that came with Ableton and is free. Then, like, you have this stuff to play with, so you don't you don't need to start out with Splice because you have all this stuff in here. So like we can just see, like which one of these things fits, right? Let's see. We're gonna see. We already got kind of like something going here, and then we could like loop up. This is not typically exactly the way that I work, but like this is just kind of like show you stuff. But like, let's see. These are all sort of like vocal things. So let's see. All right, so then we have like, and then like maybe we could take this little vocal thing, and then I'll make like another variation of this. I could just have the same track, right? And so then I could have this one be like pitched up. And then with these, like, I can so like I've already got something here, then all I've done is like drop samples in, and I don't need to know, like, to do this, I don't need to know anything about synthesis or Serum or Splice or anything like that. Yeah, and don't get crazy on gear. I mean, all of us love gear, but like you the more you can focus on one thing and put in the time, like you're talking about, like your new job. Like, the only reason I know Ableton is because I've taken years to, like, when I was I'm working a part-time job right now, but I took years when I worked full-time. Just every day on my lunch break I had a laptop with me, and I just looked at Ableton lessons online and stuff, um, and just made stuff over and over and over and over, and just like just kept starting new things and kept trying to finish stuff, and until like this has become an instrument to me, I guess. You'd love to DJ, but think to have hope being popular, you need to make music. Yeah, I don't know too much about the world of DJing and stuff, but yeah. I mean, don't think about first goals as being popular. Like, you just you need to do something because it really interests you, which it sounds like it does, and you kind of gotta start there and see where it goes. If that makes sense. Yeah. But I mean, if you're like, to me, if you're wanting to do production and stuff like that, you need your headphones, you need I mean, you could do this. I mean, really, you could do it without. You could do it without a keyboard also. Like, I don't know if you've noticed, but like there most of this stuff I can still do with the keyboard and a mouse. So like I mean, if there's one thing I couldn't live without, it would just be the Ableton part and like a good computer, if that makes sense. And I come to this also having a music background. Also, that doesn't really help that much with the DAW itself, but it helps with just having an ear for things and what works and pitch and stuff like that. I've heard tons of people saying those Bayer Dynamics are good. It depends. So like I have these are Sony MDR 7506, and it's sort of like those are great and they're less than $100. I mean, you want to get for stuff like that, fairly cheap stuff. Those sound great. They're not going to. They don't block out a lot of sound. So that can be important. Like if you're trying to record something, like if I was trying to record like an acoustic guitar or something like that, you might get like bleed over into your microphone from the headphones and stuff like that. There's a lot of stuff to understand about that part. Then a MIDI keyboard. I mean, I would just go with one of like a cheap Arturia keyboard is what I would recommend for keyboards. I have an Arturia KeyStep. Is this thing? And I mean, for you, if you don't already like play piano and stuff like that, that is like, I mean, spend $150 on a MIDI keyboard or whatever. You shouldn't feel bad because I'd like rather be doing this than making beats. And I actually was kind of at a stalemate with like that particular thing, so don't feel bad at all. If this is helping you make any decisions or gain any insight, then we're all good. Again, that's why I'm talking to the internet, is because hopefully I have something to offer. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, if you wanted to see, let's see, we can just start something new. I'm like always down to see stuff or to start new stuff. Yeah. So, one thing I like to do, there's this this thing is called a Euclidean sequencer. Like the other thing about Ableton too is there's these like devices called Max for Live devices. So like Max is this like sort of visual programming language that comes bundled. you, like there's a version of this programming language thing called Max, that's called Max for Live, that comes with this, and it allows people to make their own effects, like whether free or for sale. They make their own effects and devices and things like that. So like this is a sequencer. So if we drop something in here, let's see. So I'm going to drop this little instrument. Is called Collision, and it just makes little, I don't know, little things. But if you, like, this is just one of the things that's interesting. So I've got like a C and an E and a G, and then I can like, you can see this thing like starts to rotate around. I can add some delay to it. So like this is how I would like normally start something, is I would use something weird like this to like sort of like get something going and then start adding effects to it and stuff like that. So let's see, when you place the clips into those boxes, what do you mean? Can you drag them in there and then use shift tab to organize it all? Okay, so like let me just let's make that go away because it's complicated. All right, so each vertical thing in here is a track. In fact, let's start with literally just one track, right? So like right now I have it set up like this is just an instrument. Think of it as a piano or a guitar or whatever, right? So I hit my keyboard and it plays like with a MIDI keyboard, right? I can also record. That's why these little circles means it's all like ready to record. So I can record things into a clip. And let's use the metronome just so it makes things. So, whoops, ignore that. All right, so like what I've just played is recorded in here, right? So this is like the clips I was talking about, right? So this is like a visualization of what I just did. In fact, and then I can manipulate it. So like that was too low. I didn't expect to be playing that low. So I can shift it up an octave. Right? So like this little box is holding this idea, right? So like that's one idea, using the same instrument that sits within this track. Or I could have another idea that sits in here, right? So I just made another little clip. And it's just going to repeat over and over. Right? So that's like idea one. And then we could make this one be idea three. That's like maybe just like some chords. Right? So like this view is holding these different ideas. So like I can record an infinite amount of little ideas, right, into these little boxes. So yeah, each one of these boxes is an idea essentially. Yeah, or like it's a unit of music, right? Let's think about it that way. Like each of these is a unit of music and it can be whatever length you want it to be. So like so like in this, you know, if you're going to make house music or whatever, you're going to be in 4/4. So like there's 4 beats of quarter notes, right? So like, let's make this simple. So like, this little idea, right? So like this is 1 bar of music. It's 4 beats starting here. Right? So like this is beat 1, this is beat 2, this is beat 3, this is beat 4, right? So then it can be, each of these little clips can not only be like a 1 bar clip, but it could be like, or a 4 beat clip. It could be like just these, it could be 1 beat and it could loop on that, or it could be 2 beats, or it could be 3 beats or 4 beats or whatever. And so same deal. This could also be like, let's see, this is me talking. This is me talking. This is me talking. Right? So like this is me talking. We can call this a mic, right? So, and since this is an audio track, like it means like this is a final thing. An audio track is like something that's been recording. So like, there's not an instrument on here per se. There's just this recording or sample or clip. This is on here. and then we can put audio effects on either one of these. But the same way, I could grab like anything you grab, any recording is like could also be put here. So like this is also an audio clip, right? So this is like a drum break. This is me talking. So each one of those is the same thing. Like this is audio, and then this is like a MIDI instrument that's like controlled. It's played by when I arm it, it's played by that. But like that information of what you played or what you drew in one of these clips is held here for these little ideas, these units of music. and you can, you know, a song is made by a combination of one or two or more of these things all playing together in time. And then also, like, you know, you can in Ableton you could make this into, so like DJ world, right? So let's like we'll just turn these, we'll take this stuff off. And so in DJ world, this could be like deck A and deck B, and you could play live with this with different tracks in here, and then you have like a little crossfader too that you can use. Let's see, where's that little guy? I think I do not use the crossfader in Ableton that much, so it's probably going to take me a second to find it. But you can basically fade between those. I wonder if I have to right click here. Let's find the crossfader in Ableton. I/O. And there's little, all this stuff is sort of like somewhat customizable to like what it shows. And so there's like this other information here's like kind of where stuff is coming from. Like this is like it's showing that these audio tracks are like what it's listening to is what I have labeled as my mic. If that makes sense. But anyways, you could have but then you could like switch to this thing and then put some effects on it, put some reverb on it, you know, filter it down or whatever. But you can, you know, you could do this with full tracks, you know, instead of like just having little like drum breaks or whatever. But that's how people can set this up. There it is. There's a little crossfaders. Okay, so and then so like I can have both of these things playing, and then like this thing's A, this thing's B, and then I can, you know, crossfade between them and stuff. So like Ableton was originally designed for live performance, so it is you know, Kanye West or pro DJs or, you know, thousands of people use Ableton for like live performance and DJing and stuff like that too. if that makes sense. All right, my voice is starting to crack. So, Tom, I hope I answered your questions, and glad to hang out for a bit. I'm gonna start. I was streaming on Twitch a lot, but yeah, you can record. Yeah, right. So you can record the crossfade. You can so there's like a million things. Yeah, there's any of this stuff you could do. You can also like automate this stuff over time, so you can basically have it like turn knobs for you in time. It's really like infinite. So my Twitch is also like Ben Cornelius Music, but uh, right now, yeah, you could go ahead and give me a follow on Twitch and all that stuff. And I'm let's see, B Cornells on Instagram, and then Ben Cornelius Music, I think, on Twitch. But I'm about to, yeah. Well, I didn't spell my own name right, but you can see my name spelled. Anyways, but yeah, I'm about to get off here, and thanks for watching. And yeah, you can send me DMs or whatever if you have questions, and I have no problem with that. Or if you need lessons or anything like that, I also am down to do those kind of things. But I'm heading out. Take care. Yep, gonna Tuesdays and Wednesdays I'm gonna start live streaming. And you're welcome.